international event is now on dotaboom.gg. Special cases, exclusive skins, and a nice atmosphere of the main tournament of the year are waiting for you. Get 50 cents for signing up and open a case for free. Or try your luck with a multicast case and get a chance to grab 4 skins in one go. And here's what's important, the probably fair system makes sure all the results are fair and square. And by the way, every day, 20 of the most active users will share skins worth $90. And once a week, the most active Dota 2 players will receive exclusive sets and arcana items worth over 300. If that's not enough for you, then when you reach level 5, you'll be able to open free daily cases every day. And the higher your level is, the more cases you'll be able to open. So hurry up, use this promo code and get a bonus of 5% on your deposit, free coins and a free case. And the first 100 new users will also get 50 cents for registering. So don't waste your time, click the link in the description, activate the promo code, grab your bonuses, and then come back and continue watching the video.
Hey, what is up guys, it's your boy Sweeter, and today we're going to be looking at one of the most impressive Necrophos performances I've seen in a while. I mean, I don't know, I thought this hero was dead, but apparently it's been making its resurgence as of late. I've heard a couple people talking about it. The hero is definitely on the up. However, you might be like, why in the world have we not seen Necro 4 forever in the pro scene? Well, honestly guys, there's a couple reasons for that. I would say number one, the hero can just be a little slow. Frankly, when it doesn't have ulti, it can often feel that it lacks damage. It actually is a reasonably easy to gank hero in the early game. Obviously, it a little bit depends on what is happening, what is the game state, but in general, I would say it's pretty easy to gank. And the last thing I'd say is its 280 movement speed just feels terrible. Frankly, this hero can be run down by well-executed kill combos. I mean, even something like Axe that you would think a hero like Necro would counter in the lane, frankly, can struggle against Axe. That does not happen this game. We're going to be looking at why. I think the Dazzle is a big part in that. But either way, let's hop into it. Let's talk about some Necrophos, why this hero is on the up. And honestly, this game, the item build is super cool. We're going to see a 4-staff first before any boots upgrade. I mean, some kind of crazy stuff. Let's get into it. Okay, first off, I want to talk about talents and the facet. First of all, he took Rapid Decay. Not what you'd expect. The other one basically gives you like AoE increase. However, Rapid Decay seems great to me. It gives you movement speed based on how much they lose, so it's quite a lot. I tested in demo, like it's significant, very significant. And then it also takes away heal restoration based on how much you're gaining. So essentially, whoever's affected by your W loses restoration, and it's like some crazy number because you're getting 75%, which is up to, if you decide to take it, 90%. And by the way, that's also amped by Holy Locket, which he is going to buy this game. Pretty interesting. So the Holy Locket amps the healing of Wand, your Q, your W, and it stacks additively. It also amps Sadist, which is the healing, right, from killing creeps or units. So basically, Holy Locket's just like some really solid item on this hero. It works with Rapid Decay. It stacks additively with your W. So just a lot of synergy. Now, let's get into laning stage. This hero's laning stage is pretty good. Again, this is a lane I would actually be a little afraid of. I do feel that Willow Axe has the capability of running down Necro and killing him from full. Especially, oh, I thought he was laning with Dazzle. He's actually laning with Shaman. So not necessarily the easiest lanes. He's gonna skill up his E. You actually don't necessarily need your E at level 2. I will admit, I actually think that the E is reasonably overrated. Frankly, the W is 50%, about 50% amp. And so if you build up a few wand charges, let's say it's just like a decent wand lane, or you're afraid of getting all in by maybe like some stun combo, even getting run down by something like Battle Hunger, I would consider skilling the W. Frankly, Heartstop Aurora is now only a 700 radius, which is not bad. It's 0.8 tick, which is okay. So obviously this ability is fine, but to me, hold the point. I mean, okay, you can't really hold the point because you should skill the E if you're going to take it at all, like instantly. My problem is at level 3, in my eyes, at level 3, most of the time, a lot of lanes have kill threat on Necro. And you should have your W so you can, at level 3, when you have like, let's say 10 stacks of a wand, pop your W, pop your wand, and get that amp. Obviously in this early laning stage, not much is happening. It's just last hitting. Yeah, there's not much happening. Just try not to miss CS and try to get as many denies as possible because your hero gets extra amplification, right? This hero gets the HP and mana regen when it gets denies, so it's very important. By the way, in terms of using your Q, I would say in general, don't be afraid to use it. It's 130 mana, which is pretty intensive, but ever since they made it where at level 1 you have Sadist, this hero has much less issues with sustaining its Q. So yeah, the early laning was definitely pretty passive here. The Axe is kind of just cutting waves, so not much is happening. It's very hard for a slow hero like Necro to actually do anything about this. Like, he's thinking about it, but they're just trading farm. Honestly, I wouldn't say that this is a bad thing for Necro. I do actually feel that this hero's early levels against kill combos, especially again when laning with something like Shaman that just doesn't have that much synergy with the Necro, I would be pretty happy with this. Like, honestly, I don't know if I agree with what the enemy team is doing, where they're kind of just letting him farm. Now, this is where the hero can be a little bit weird. For instance, he just used his Q to farm up the back fish camp, little fishies, and he actually is almost out of mana. He picks up raindrops to help deal with this, but if you are going to farm neutrals, which generally you kind of shouldn't, the only neutrals you should farm is like a small camp that's being contested or a large camp that is being contested, then you should, use your Q to secure the CS. But in general, yeah, you don't really want to casual farm the fish back camp. I get why he did it there. The Axe is cutting waves, so he kind of just feels like he doesn't need his mana. But in general, guys, don't do that. It's not something you do in your average game. But yeah, he's going to farm with a large camp. That is obviously a good situation to do it. He's going to queue up a Fluffy Hat plus a Bracer. I do like his items here. I do think that a lot of players, for some reason, are just totally fine with buying like 0 defensive items straight into Radiance. I'm not a fan. I do believe that those builds are very easily punished. You're too easy to gank. Like, for some reason, people think Necro is like hard to kill in the early game without defensive items. If you don't have wand charges, you're not tanky. Like, you're really not tanky. You do die, like, to a huge portion of like the Dota cast. And so I do like the Bracer, Fluffy Hat, Raindrops. You guys know, if you watch this channel, I am literally the world's biggest fan of Raindrops. Oh, nice catch on the Axe. Oh, the Axe. Wow, he called Shackles. That is, you can do that? Okay, whatever. He's gonna stack up the small camp. Oh, I actually like this. You're gonna get broken by this camp. I guess it's whatever, because you're not gonna kill it on the initial break. Yeah, this is really nice and efficient here. He's probably gonna actually have to use one more Q. Okay, he's gonna opt not to. I was just gonna say, for the fact that he is actually missing a bit of health. He'll probably Q here, yeah. So just kind of sustaining. At this point, once you build up points in your Q and you get left alone, which is pretty frequent. This hero definitely gets pretty strong as the levels progress, especially point in sight. It can be very scary to challenge Necro. If you miss execute at all, you will kind of just die, as they're looking for a go on the Axe. And by the way, he took, in terms of neutral enchantment, he took movement speed, which, again, this hero's movement speed is terrible, and it really requires being close to people to do anything. And chip vest, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, this hero definitely can tank neutral camps, so I like it. I actually really like the idea of chip vest here. But yeah, rapid decay sort of coming into play here, more so that the W is just a 16% slow, so if you need to help your team gap close, you can absolutely pop your W, but also he gains the movement speed, right? You can see he's at 369. When it ends, he's at 340, so it gives him a pretty nice 29 movement speed. As you skill up the W and your movement speed goes up, it gets even better, right? So as people get like phase boots and higher movement speed, or are affected by drums or wind laces and all stuff like this, even haste runes, you actually begin to steal a lot more and you get a lot more value out of the rapid decay. So it's actually more of a mid-game fast. It's fine in the early game, don't get me wrong. 29 movement speed, guys, is nothing to scoff at. That is gonna let you stick on top of targets and get off a nice ulti. As okay, actually bumps into a ward, which does give you a sadist stack. So the killing sentries comically lets you heal a bit. Actually looks at TB mid here, but it gets canceled by Axe. Okay, no biggie. Gonna nuke out the wave. And now why 4-staff? Well, you're gonna see it in a bit. Again, I said it earlier, guys. I'll say it again. The hero's main drawback is mobility. It's mobility. So you might be like, why doesn't he have phase boots? Well, there's an argument for that. I actually do like early phase boots on this hero. I think the armor is quite nice. The movement speed is nice. But he's opting to go for bots. Sure, right? He wants to be active on the map. He wants to be everywhere. I don't mind it. Personally, I do like maximizing my early game items on the hero. So I do love, again, the Bracer, the Wand, the Raindrops. I love the 4-staff. I think rushing Naked Radiance can be okay. If you dominate your lane and you really are convinced that they will not pressure you at all, I do genuinely really like Radiance Rush. This hero can farm obscenely fast with Radiance because you drag camps together and nuke them with your Q. By the way, notice how he's not over-rotating here. This hero is extremely efficient if it gets left alone. You drag the wave to the camp and you farm them at the same time. It basically costs you nothing because of Sadist, and you just rinse repeat. So if you get left alone, please don't over-rotate. This hero is hyper efficient. You can even drag this camp to this camp. Not really these two camps, unfortunately. It's mainly just going to be these camps. You can just drag them together over and over again if you win your lane. Please prioritize it. But we will see TP mid. Okay, we will see TP mid. I wouldn't have mind seeing him stay top here. Frankly, he could have just kind of almost taken this tower from full. So I wouldn't have minded seeing him stay top, but he's got a 4-staff. And if you're rushing a 4-staff, it makes a lot more sense to get active. I think if he was buying Radiance, I would be like, just farm the Radiance. It's not that it's bad to show up, but like, again, it's hard to gap close. You can see the 4-staff in the ulti. He'll probably pop his W here to chase him. Yep. Got to slow him down. He doesn't get the kill on the Invoker here, unfortunately, again. This hero can lack a bit of damage in the early game. It more wants to be follow-up in the early game, right? Obviously getting a scythe kill. And by the way, if you get scythe kills, you get permanent HP regen and mana regen. I would say the bigger number is actually the mana regen. It is a full 1 mana regen, which is a lot. 2 HP regen is obviously not bad. It has a lot of synergy with the W, but the 1 mana regen in the early game is super convenient, right? It's almost a 20% increase on your mana, or 25%, right? On your mana regen, which is super high. And this hero, again, can actually have slight mana problems, especially if you are having a bad game and have to hit neutrals. When you get to farm this many lane creeps and you get to farm camps together like this, you will not have issues, which is why I really actually don't love the fact that he was laning with Shaman. To me, if you're going to pick Necro, you should pick a hero with high synergy and a strong lane, because you just want to get this hero off to a good start. It just thrives in this scenario. You can see if you're able to play the game like he's playing here, this is like an elite hero. It is elite. He's buying bots, so now you can get active, farming these camps together. Again, so efficient. Double lane. Now, with no neutral camps, I would consider TPing somewhere. He's going to go to farm this camp, but I definitely could see him looking to connect mid, and he's thinking about it. Can even think about stacking this camp. But there's definitely a window here. Yeah, okay, like that. Boom. Zero's very good at taking stacks, loves stacks. Okay, actually walking mid. He's probably afraid of a top gank, doesn't see anything. Okay, there was no top gank coming, but he's a little bit afraid, so he decided to group up with his team. I don't mind that, right? Again, this hero actually is reasonably gankable. It's getting to the point where he's not, because he's going to have triple Lotus Wand. I mean, when you have triple Lotus Wand, this hero's restore amplification with these items is broken. We'll actually see that in a moment. There's going to be a great example of that in a bit. There's actually 4 staffs forward, which typically I don't like, but this is definitely a hero that can justify it. Right, you're obviously very tanky, as you can probably drop. I don't know. Okay, these are tough, guys. It's nice to scythe to finish kills because you're getting that perma buff, but if the fight is ongoing and you think someone is dead, I would suggest holding it. I am not a big fan. Like, this guy is clearly dead. Like, for instance, bursting this axe is probably much nicer. Honestly, didn't even need it for that guy, so I guess it ends up not mattering, but you get the point. Sometimes it will matter, and it will matter a lot. You know, there can be some very big kill that you're not getting on a core because you decided to ulti some guy who's like guaranteed dead. So please be careful. Yes, people will argue, oh, but it's for the regen speed. Yes, but you need to win the damn fight. Winning the fight is way more important than getting 2 HP regen, all right? You know, like, it's definitely the case. As, okay, gonna farm a neutrals. Look how farmed he is. Oh my gosh. This hero is so efficient. I mean, the bots obviously let him be hyper efficient. Guys, here's what I'll say. If your game is bad and you're recovering, don't buy bots. Don't buy bots. Just buy Radiance and hit a bunch of neutrals and play for the mid game. Okay, like, this hero's mid game with Radiance is very, very good. Let's see if I break out here. Again, aggressively force tapping, scythe to finish the axe. Very nice. Easy kill. And yeah, I mean, this hero in free games is honestly very impressive, I will admit. It's just resources are permanently maxed. It actually can dead lane very efficiently off a good start because of the items that he's buying. It farms the camps super efficiently. And it's connecting to fights with this 4-staff bots. I mean, again, I kind of like Radiance Rush in a lot of games, but oh, this is the clip. Gets called up by Axe. Oh my god, barely in dunk range, but gets off W, right? Gets off WQ, he insta-click them, then wand, and a triple Lotus is literally full heal. And so stack Lotuses if you can. Even singular Lotuses will frequently make a massive difference. So please, guys, pick up Lotuses. But now with Radiance, this hero becomes hyper efficient as you conveniently drag camps together. It only takes, usually it takes like 3 pulses or 2 pulses and a billion auto attacks to finish off camps. With Radiance, it's typically a very convenient 2 pulses, so it just heavily amps your farming speed. as gets another kill on axe, just everywhere. And I love the next item. You absolutely buy your shard. If you don't know what it does, basically it gives you a second death pulse that you travel with it. So it's kind of like, it's just more mobility. And again, the name of the game on this hero is just finding ways to have mobility. So like the Force Staff to me is actually a must buy, even with Radiance. I would say in a lot of games, I actually think this item is not necessary, but close to it. Some games you can justify Radiance into shard, but this hero also likes, it also likes just the casual HP from Force Staff. There's obviously better ways to get HP, but it's just like, it's a solid item for sure. Definitely a solid item. It's getting initiated on here. Not panicking with the W. You could consider clicking it here, but probably doesn't need it. That's the shard coming into play. It's so broken. It's one of the better shards in the game because also what it does, I mean, it's less necessary when you have Radiance, but what it can do, especially with, you know, in the games where you don't have Radiance, which is uncommon if you're carry, but it lets you one-shot creep waves. Yeah, super nice. Clips like this, you get to save your Force Staff, which is actually huge. Gonna combo them up, get the kill. What is that, 4 regen now? Yeah, 4 and 2 mana regen. Super nice. And the mana regen, again, it actually really matters. It gets to the point where you can actually just button match your Q, and it feels great. You just, if this hero gets ahead, again, I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but when this hero gets ahead, it is a menace. Absolute menace. Oh, okay, it gets canceled. I like the bot's attempt there. Also, Scythe is really not that long of a cooldown. 100? It's pretty low. Considering, you know, what this ability actually gives you. Pretty damn low. He's going to push in the wave. Actually completes the Holy Locket here, so really feeling his tempo. And again, it's just super good with Rapid Decay because they lose 100% of the restoration you gain. So the more you gain, the more they lose. So it just cooks heroes. Like, I tested in the lobby, it just basically removes all of their HP regen. So it's heavy damage, heavy damage. And it also just, I believe it doesn't necessarily negate healing, so it's not going to like cancel something like Wand or Lifesteal. It's mainly just for HP regen, but you'd be surprised how much that does, right? If a hero has, let's say, 20 regen, it's some like tankier hero, and you're reducing it by almost 100%, you're dealing an effective 80 to 100 damage, which actually does matter. It definitely matters. And for certain heroes, like something like Jug, that might be affected by Healing Ward, which gives HP regen, it actually super destroys those heroes. So it's definitely nice. And for heroes that have healing restoration amp, for instance, Holy Locket heroes, or something like Dazzle, for instance, is a really good matchup for the rapid decay. Okay, first next item is queuing up a BKB. Previously, you could never buy this item on this hero because actually it would cancel your Ghost Shroud, but no longer. That is no longer a part of Dota. So you can use Ghost Shroud and BKB at the same time, which is super nice. Super nice. Other items you can buy on this hero, I would say Blink Dagger is acceptable if you want to play Giga Tempo. Again, mobility, kind of the name of the game. I've also seen quite a bit of Sanjin Yasha, which I actually like. The heal restoration is nice. The status resist is good. The movement speed is good. The HP is good. So I'm definitely a fan of just Sanjin Yasha. It might seem a little weird, like why not like Kaya Sanj or something like that? Why not Kaya Yasha? Well, I think Kaya Yasha, you lose out on the health, which is super nice. And with Kaya Sanj, you lose out on status resist and movement speed, which is super good on this hero. As kicks out the axe. By the way, level 20, Heartstopper regen reduction. I do think that the Ghost Shroud self-amp is pretty good in some games, but sure. At level 15, by the way, super good Ghost Shroud movement slow. Why? Rapid decay, right? You gain movement speed that they lose. So the more slow, the more you gain. So you become exceptionally fast. Bots too, yeah, I mean, he's owning the game. They're kind of cooking the map. They're choking him out. This is not the item you buy in your average game. I mean, basically at this point, there's a lot of different items you could buy. You can queue up a Shivas, which is great on this hero. This hero has severe armor issues, and you may be like, why would I buy armor? I have my W. Well, sometimes you're gonna get stunned. And so if the enemy team has a lot of stuns plus physical, for instance, something like a Sven, it's a very good idea to buy Shivas so that guy cannot one-shot you. But yeah, he queues up the Kaya Sanj here. I don't mind it. Again, it's obviously fine, but personally, I'm a bigger fan of something like Kaya Yasha on this hero because, again, the movement speed is good. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's the reality. Most Dota heroes want certain things, and so you play around those certain things. This hero is definitely a movement speed fiend. You just need to be alive to deal damage, nothing more. You just need to exist. And so yeah, Siege Nut. This hero definitely sieges okay. It's pretty tanky. The Force Staff makes it much easier, as they're going to try to chain stun him. Instantly Graved, which I actually love. Love the instant grave because you're against Axe, right? So just use it, give him the give him the heal app, even though it's less when they're full HP. It's still a significant number on Dazzle, even if they're missing 20% health. It's like 18% app, some very good number. And yeah, it's gonna be the end of the game. Yeah, I mean, he was gonna go for Kai Assange next. I do think that you can upgrade the Force Staff into Pike. It's certainly not bad. It's decent stats, but it's not great. You can certainly trade out the Pike for something like a Hex in the late game. Even something like Dagon 5 is not bad, but typically you just want to kind of play for HP. That's why I'm a big fan of like Sange Nyasha and something like Heart. Sange Nyasha Heart Shivas just makes you an absolute frontline menace. So I would angle towards something like that in most games. But okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Just really was inspired by that gameplay. I thought it was super cool, super tempo. And yeah, he's a very good player. So yeah, hopefully you guys learned a lot. I'll see you in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.